What's up, guys? You're listening to another episode of Selling on Amazon with Andy Isom. My agency, guys, is making moves and the ship is sailing. I wanted to spend an episode this week to talk to you guys more about in detail what I've been working on for about the last about 5 months or so, 5 or 6 months, I should honestly say, to build my own Amazon agency. This has been something that's been in my mind for well over a year, but I was really just waiting for the right time to make it a part of my business. As you guys know, who've been listening to the podcast for weeks, months, or even years, I've spent most of the past 3 to 4 years focusing a lot on educating you guys, helping you guys understand this Amazon private label business model, sharing with you guys what's working for our brand, how Amazon has changed over the past 3 or 4 years, and it has changed a lot, especially for those of you who have listened to like my first 8 episodes and then listen to some more of my recent episodes. But again, I've mentioned this before to you guys, I think on the podcast, but I mentioned it a lot to my students in my coaching programs that in 2024 and at the end of 2023, I'm focused a lot more on service, not as much on education. Now, that being said, don't worry, the podcast is not going away. I'm still going to be putting content out there for you guys. I've still got my courses and programs to help you guys. But my personal focus is very much on how can I serve you? How can I actually serve you instead of just educate you? The analogy that I want to use for the episode today is kind of like being a homeowner. We built our house and it's been about 1.5 years since we moved into our new house. Owning a house, a pretty good sized house, it has its challenges, right? For anyone who is a homeowner out there, you know what I'm talking about. But over the last 1.5 years, this has been really my first experience with having a yard, taking care of a yard, doing landscaping. We finished our backyard, put in a fire pit, cement pad, all that stuff, retaining wall, sprinkler systems, just taking care of the home in general, AC. We have 2 furnaces, 2 ACs. We did a water softener installation. What else have we done? Gosh, I feel like we did a mudroom. We've just been doing, adding things onto our home over the first, 1.5 years since we've been living here. And there's a lot of maintenance and stuff that goes with taking care of a home, right? Mowing the lawn, cleaning, doing all that kind of stuff. And in this past 1.5 years, I've realized that I don't really have time to do everything. 1, I don't really have time to do everything. 2, I don't really have the interest to do everything. And 3, I don't really have the skill set to do everything as far as taking care of my home. One of the things that we've done is outsource cleaning. So it's funny because I remember as a kid when, you heard about people who had house cleaners, I was like, oh my gosh, they're so lazy, they're so spoiled. But once you get to the level where you're like, dang, I don't enjoy cleaning my bathrooms or deep cleaning my kitchen and appliances. I don't really have time because I'm either working or playing with my kids or, just decompressing after a long day. I'm just not very good at cleaning. And so you pay people to come and clean your house. And you can do that with a lot of things, right? You can do that with mowing your lawn. I actually really enjoy mowing the lawn, and the yard is kind of like my canvas, my artwork. So I kind of find it therapeutic to take care of the yard. But for some people, they hate mowing the lawn. So you pay someone to mow the lawn. You might pay someone to pick up dog poop at your house. You might pay people to do your laundry. So there's all sorts of different things when it comes to taking care of a home that you may outsource. Heck, if you have kids, you might outsource that, right? Like you might have a daycare, whether you have to because you have jobs or you choose to because you want a couple hours break from your kids every day. But there's all sorts of different things, right? With managing your life, your home. And I've realized, again, in this past 1.5 years, it's funny how it's kind of correlated with me focusing more on service. I've seen this correlation between your home, it's your Amazon business, your brand. When you have a small home, maybe it's apartment, 1-bedroom apartment, and you don't have kids, right? Like things are pretty simple for the most part. It's pretty simple to take care of your apartment. It's pretty simple to clean up, tidy up. You got time, you don't got kids. But as your living situation grows, you get into a bigger house, you have a bigger family, you have a bigger yard. It becomes harder to do all that on your own. Same sort of thing with your Amazon business. In the early stages, you might find it easier to kind of just, manage everything on your own. But as it gets bigger, it gets more difficult. Bigger moves, bigger problems. But at the same time, you might have other stuff happening in your life too, where you just don't have the time to do certain elements of your Amazon business, or you don't have the interest. That's a legitimate thing. Like, hey, I'm just not really interested in making TikTok videos every day. That just doesn't really interest me. right? I hear that from people, or I'm not really interested in learning ads. I'm not interested in spending time optimizing my ads every day. And then the other thing is like, you may not have the skill set. Like maybe you just don't have the skill set to be good at Amazon advertising. Maybe you don't have the skill set for content creation. Maybe you don't have the skill set for managing the business, right? There's like all the different little pieces of your business that, again, you may not have time, you may not have interest, or you may not have the skill set to do it. So you outsource it. That's how you get the best results. That's how, when I do DIY projects, I actually, in my other property that I own, my townhome, we finished the basement. When we built the townhome, it was an unfinished basement, and then we lived there for 5 years. And before we moved out, we finished the basement to make it a little bit easier to rent. And me and my dad did the whole thing. We did the whole thing. We did the framing, we did the sheetrock, we did the mud, we did the paint. The only thing is we paid someone to come install carpet, but we basically did everything else, installed the lights, electrical, and it was a project. And it turned out pretty good, but definitely didn't turn out, as well as maybe professionals we would have paid to do it could have done it. And they probably would have done it a lot faster too. But I kind of learned through doing it myself that, in my new house, which I also have an unfinished basement, when it comes time to finish that basement, definitely not doing it on my own. Definitely not. I've done it at my old property, and that is not something that I want to repeat, and definitely not something I want to repeat with the size of my current basement. So similar sort of thing, right? With your business, you may have done stuff on your own. Maybe it was a good learning experience. Maybe you got pretty decent results. You're happy with it, but you learned, you know what? I don't really want to do this moving forward. I don't really want to do this in the future. So again, kind of tying this all back to the premise of the episode here is about 5 months ago, I very seriously started working on my own agency to be able to provide service. So that's really what it is. Instead of just me as a personal brand, teaching you guys, I'm actually bringing people on my team, hiring people, partnering with people to provide these services for you guys. And as a lot of you know, in fact, I know a lot of you guys have used some of our services. We have a whole bunch of services that we offer now. Really, we're to the point where we can pretty much do anything. We can pretty much do anything you want. If you want us to fully manage your Amazon account, we can do that. If you want us to manage your sourcing and your logistics and your supply chain, we can do that. If you want us to run your ads and SEO, we can do that. If you want us to create listings and do all that and manage customer support and manage issues, we can do that. If you want us to just do one-time things, like if you want us to do a product validation, a brand audit, that kind of stuff, we can do that. So we've been able to build out the team over the past 5 or 6 months now to where we can really do anything. I just hired 2 new people to my team personally, full-time this past week, actually, as of recording this episode. I'm recording this a couple weeks in advance, but I've got 2 new people on my team now, full-time, to again help with the business. On the agency side of things, we have around 20 employees right now working with our agency. So we've got a lot of people behind the scenes that you will probably never know about, again, unless you work specifically with that employee as part of our agency services. But we've built out a really good big team, good qualified team over the past 5 or 6 months now to be able to do all these things. We've been making some good moves. We've been making some serious moves over these first 6 months. We've onboarded in these first around 3-4 months of really launching our agency as far as like management stuff. We have onboarded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've onboarded 6 clients. We're onboarding 2 new clients this week. We've done a whole bunch of different one-time services for people. 7 clients that we've onboarded with 2 more onboarding this week. We've got a whole bunch more that are under review. So there's a lot of clients, that we're onboarding right now. And we've kind of launched this little introductory offer to kind of get this thing off the ground and get these things rolling. Now, the nice thing is I've partnered and hired some people with very good experience in the Amazon space who have been in the Amazon space for about 5 years now, around the same time as me, really, who have been doing this. So it's not like, oh, the employees on our team, this is the first time they've ever managed ads, the first time they've ever managed an account, the first time they've ever done an audit. No, they've been doing this for about 5 years. So we're bringing people from other companies, partnering with people from other companies. So we already have the experience on the team to be able to do this effectively for you guys. Something else that I'm very much investing in right now for the agency is high-level professional tools and service. That's something that I take a lot of pride in, and that's kind of my main focus as part of the agency, right? Is really being on the front end, trying to talk to clients, right? Trying to talk to you guys, see if it's a good fit, because we're not a good fit for everyone. I've actually turned a lot of people away who have sent in applications. We've reviewed their account and it's just not going to be a good fit. And so we've had to say, sorry, this isn't going to be a good working relationship for us or for you. And that's what I try to be. I try to be honest and transparent with people about that, because we don't want to, we don't want to take your money if we can't give you results. So if we look at your account, we look at your product, your brand, and we're like, and we don't see that we can bring the type of results that you're looking for that would make it cost effective for you, right, to use our services, then I'm not going to charge you. I'll just tell you straight up that it's not going to be a good fit. But we are investing in those premium level experiences and services. We're using Slack, we're using ClickUp, we're using other tools, other features, other software. In fact, we have access to pretty much every single software out there. So we're using Jungle Scout. Our team also uses Helium 10. We use Smart Scout. We use Data Dive. These are tools, guys, out there that for most people, you're spending $100, $200, $300 a month on these tools. But the nice thing is we're paying for all these internally for our agency. So you guys don't have to, right? We can use the tools. We can do the research. We can do all the validations for you guys. So you don't have to go out there and try to learn all these tools first of all, but pay for all these tools and spend all the time. We already have the time experience behind all this to be able to do all this research for you guys to help you guys out. So that's kind of where we're at, guys. And here's the thing. I actually just launched, as part of my agency, I just launched a specific niche agency. It's called Weavos. You guys might see this. I may post about it on my social media, but if you're on LinkedIn and you're connected with me on LinkedIn, you may have seen this. Our focus moving forward, because again, this is just me being like fully transparent with you guys, is we don't really want to be average at everything. Now, a lot of other Amazon agencies out there who are like, we'll run your ads for you. We'll run your account for you. Okay, that's great. That's awesome. But they'll do it for anything. They'll run ads or they'll run accounts for home and kitchen and pets and sports, clothing and, supplements and all sorts of random crap. The issue with that is you kind of just, and again, I'm speaking from experience, but also, observing, you kind of do an average job. Like if you try to cater to everyone, it's very, very hard to get really, really good at one specific niche or category, right? So to be full transparent with you guys, moving forward into the future, our very much focus is going to be on apparel. So we are very, very focused right now on learning everything about the apparel industry. Me, myself, my business partners, our employees, our team, we're reading, we're attending, we're educating courses, seminars, events around the apparel industry. Also educating ourselves very, very specifically about apparel on Amazon. That is our goal. Our goal is we want to be the best agency in the world for managing apparel brands. And our ultimate goal, again, just to give you guys kind of what we're working on, our ultimate goal, guys, is to not only focus just on Amazon for apparel brands, but marketplaces. Okay, so we want to help your apparel brand or apparel brands find success on marketplace platforms. So that's Amazon.com, Walmart, Target, Etsy, any of the online marketplaces where you could potentially sell, your products. Our goal is to be the experts, the best in the world at that game, right? But for right now, we are happy to help you guys out with whatever brands and products that you guys are working on. But I don't know when that's going to end. There will come a day. I don't know if it's in 2024. I don't know if it's in 2025. There will come a day where we start to say no to other niches, other brands, other products outside of apparel. I'm just being, again, kind of fully transparent. Now, that is, again, in the agency space. I'm still here, guys, to educate you on all sorts of niches and categories. I have really no plans to, niche down in that specific area. At least for now, I don't. But if you're someone's like, hey, Andy, I'm really looking to utilize your agency services, now is the time. If you want our help, if you want to onboard with us, because here's the other thing too, is with the clients that we bring on right now, we're not going to kick you out. Like, we're not going to be like, hey, sorry, now we're only doing apparel brands. We're not going to manage your account anymore. We're not going to do that. We would only do that if we see that obviously there's no more potential for us to grow together. Like if we see like, hey, this is not a good working relationship, we're not able to give you the results that you're looking for, or you're not happy, then yeah, we can separate and part ways. But my point being, now is the time to get on the ship. Now is the time to get on the ship. This boat is sailing. So if you want to be with our agency, if you want to work with us for the long term, which is really what we're looking for, right? We want to build and work together on the long term. Now is the time to get in. Now is the time to get on, because again, there will come a day where if you're not a good fit and you're not in our target niche and category, we'll most likely say no. I just wanted to kind of be open and transparent with you guys on that, really, with this episode today, just to keep that on your radar. If you are someone who's like, hey, I don't have the time to do it, I'm not interested in doing it, and I don't have the skill to do it, or I guess you don't have the skill to do it, and you want to outsource it, and you want to work with our team, now is the time to kind of start that process because, the spots are going to be drying up here soon. For that, we would love to work with, you guys if you are a good fit. So again, if you are interested in that, you can send me a DM, but also the best way to do it would be just go to my website, andyisom.com, click the get started button, fill out that quick little form. We'll give you a call, shoot you a text, and then we can kind of discuss more in detail about what it is you're looking for. We can review your account, see if it's a good fit, and then we rock and roll from there. So again, guys, I'm here to educate you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to serve you guys the best that I can. But again, those are just kind of some of our plans here for 2024 and moving forward into the future. So I wanted to make you guys aware of that. Once again, guys, I'm Andy. You're listening to Selling on Amazon with Andy Isom. We'll see you in the next episode.